विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो. Ram Ram Ram. So, welcome back to another video. In the last discussion, we looked at, it was a starting point for us, for me to explain as a presenter why it was important to look into the life of Adi Shankaracharya, and also we looked at Guru Mahima, the greatness and importance of a Guru. So today we will directly go into the life of Adi Shankaracharya. Before we begin, whenever we want to look at the life of Rama, Lord Rama, and understand it better, we have one source work, that is Adi Kavi Valmiki's Ramayanam. If you want to look at the pastimes of Krishna, we have the Bhagavata Mahapuranam. Similarly, if you want to look at the life of Adi Shankaracharya, several people, several poets have given us beautiful works. But one particular work which has been accredited to be very good source of information is Madhaviya Srimad Shankaracharya Digvijayam, written by Sri Madhavacharya, later Vidyaranya. So, I would be taking a few shlokas from this text as I discuss each of these incidents, and it will serve as a guiding point for me to go from one incident to the other. So, I just wanted to mention that before we begin. To start this off, we have to first look at the reason why it was essential for Shankaracharya's avatara to take place. We know that Shankaracharya was born in the 8th century AD. India, Bharata Desham at that point of time was in a very different situation than it was before. Sanatana Dharma had been the basis of Bharata Desham. And here is an interesting point to think about. The word dharma, when translated into any other language, for example English, has been given the name religion, or it has been termed as religion. The problem with languages other than the regional languages like Sanskritam, Tamil, Kannada, and all these languages, regional languages, is they change the meaning to a large extent. The reason why I bring this up is the defining feature for a religion is who is the founder of the religion, what is the deity or who is the presiding god for that religion, what is the scripture or the holy book for that religion. If you can define these features, then that becomes a religion. But when you come to Sanatana Dharma, who is the founder of Sanatana Dharma? We do not have a specific answer. Who is the presiding deity for Sanatana Dharma? Well, there are 3 crore gods and goddesses in our scriptures, and each one has their own favorite god and whom they worship. Which is the presiding, or which is the holy work or holy scripture for our Sanatana Dharma? Again, it's a debatable answer. Some people may say Ramayana, some people may say Bhagavad Gita. So again, since Sanatana Dharma does not fall into any of, or does not satisfy any of these conditions, the word religion becomes a misnomer for Sanatana Dharma itself. So Sanatana Dharma is a belief system that lies outside the box of religion. But during the 8th century, the major problem or the major concern was there were a lot of new religions that were starting. For example, Buddhism, Jainism, all these started emerging during that time. Sanatana Dharma never opposed any of these religions and their preachings, but the problem arose when a false claim was being circulated, or a false idea was being circulated, that the Vedas are non-essential and Vedas are illogical and they don't have to be followed. When such misinformation was being spread, it started declining the importance and the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. And there was a need for a reform to make people realize what the true facts are and to subdue all these false claims and rumors. So this was a crucial time for Sanatana Dharma and its revival, and a leader was necessary to head this movement and bring back Sanatana Dharma to its past glory. So it was at this critical juncture that Shankaracharya's avatara became essential. So, having understood what the situation under which Shankaracharya's avatara took place, let us now look at the first incident in the life of Shankaracharya. Before we begin, another important and astonishing capability of Samskrita Kavis is they can concise huge amounts of knowledge into very concise shlokas. For example, Ramayana is a 24,000 odd shlokas, a grantha consisting of 24 odd thousand of shlokas. But that has been reduced to something called Sankshepa Ramayana and has been further reduced to an Ekashloki Ramayanam. Adau Rama Tapovanabhikamanam Hatva Mrigat Kanchanam Vaidehi Haranam Jatayu Maranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Vali Nigrahanam Samudra Taranam Lankapuri Dahanam Pascha Dravana Kumbhakarana Hananam Etadhi Ramayanam. A very beautiful play of words compressing the huge amount of knowledge in Ramayanam into one shloka describing the entire story, mainly holding on to those important incidents in this Ramayanam. Similarly, Ekashloki Bhagavatam, Ekashloki Mahabharatam, they all exist. Similarly, the entire life of Shankaracharya has been concised into one single shloka. There are two such shlokas and I will recite them before we begin. The first one is a more commonly known, well-known shloka. Ashtavarshe Chaturvedi Dvadashe Sarvashastravita Shodhashe Kritavan Bhashyam Dvatrimshe Munirabhyakat, which describes the entire story of Shankaracharya in just 4 major incidents. Another beautiful shloka has been given by Bhashya Swami, which goes as Aryamba Jathare Janihi Dvijasati Daridya Nirmulanam Sanyasashrayanam Gurupasadanam Srimandanadir Jayaha Shishyoha Grahanam Subhashya Rachanam Sarvagnya Peethashtrayaha Peethanam Rachaneti Sangrahamayi Saisha Katha Shankari. A very, very beautiful shloka which gives you all the major incidents in the life of Shankaracharya. The reason I mentioned this is this will be the framework of the videos and we will try to cover all the important incidents depicted in this shloka one by one and a little more as and when necessary. So the first part of the shloka is Aryamba Jathare Janihi, which describes today's incident, Shri Shankara Jananam. To experience this incident, we have to transport ourselves to 788 AD to Kalati. Shivaguru and Aryamba were very pious devotees of Lord Shiva, but they were issueless for a very long time. So they decided to go and worship Lord Shiva in Trichur, in the current day Trichur, where Shiva is called Vadakkanathan. They worshipped Vadakkanathan with immense austerities and devotion. Being pleased by the devotion shown by Shivaguru and Aryamba, once Shiva appeared in the dream of Shivaguru and told thus, O Shivaguru, I am very pleased with your devotion and I know that you are in and you desire a son. Shiva further tells, I'll give you 2 options of Shivaguru and you can choose whichever pleases you. The first is, you'll have several sons but who are ordinary or less than ordinary and they will live a very happy and long life. The second option is, you'll have an extraordinary son extremely intelligent and extremely devoted to me, but he will be very short-lived. Now, Shivaguru, you make a choice which of these two options you want. Shivaguru was an intelligent man, an extremely intelligent man, and he had the right words to say to Lord Shiva. He says, O Lord Shiva, you are Karuna Varunalaya, you are the compassionate one, and you always are interested in the welfare of your devotees. So, I give you the responsibility of choosing the right option for me. Shiva was extremely impressed by the answer given by Shivaguru, and he blesses him and he vanishes. And as a result, Shiva decided to bless them with that one extraordinary child, but who will be short-lived. In 788 AD, on Vaishakha Shukla Panchami, which is now celebrated as Shankara Jayanti, Shivaguru and Aryamba were blessed by a son. This happened on the banks of Purna Nadi in Kalati in Kerala. A shloka from Madhaviya Digvijayam beautifully describes the birth of Adi Shankaracharya. Lagne Shubhe Shubhayute Sushuve Kumaram Shri Parvativa Sukhini Shubhavikshate Cha Jaya Sati Shivaguroho Nijatunga Samste Surye Kuje Ravisute Cha Giraucha Kendre. The shloka says, Lagne Shubhe, in an auspicious time, on an auspicious day, the birth of Shankara took place, similar to how Parvati gave birth to Subramanya Swami Skanda. Aryamba gave birth to Shankaracharya, indirectly indicating the divinity in Shankaracharya right from birth. And at the time of birth, the shloka mentions that the horoscope of Shankaracharya showed 4 grahas in exalted state, in Uchasthanam, Surya, Kuja, Ravisuta, that is Shani, and Guru. So these were the 4 grahas that were in exalted state. There is an understanding or an thought process in astrology which says that at the time of birth, the grahas in Uchasthanam, the number of grahas and the type of grahas which are in exalted state, define the future of that particular child. For example, if you take the life of or the birth of Lord Rama, it is told in Valmiki Ramayanam that 5 grahas were in exalted state. And in astrology, the belief is if the child's horoscope shows 5 grahas in exalted state, that child has the potential of becoming a Lokanayaka, and Rama, as expected, became a very great king. Similarly, in astrology, the belief is if 4 grahas are in Uchasthanam, they are very good leaders and preachers. And as expected, Shankaracharya is an outstanding example of this, who became a Jagadguru. So, in this way, the auspicious event of Shankaracharya's avatara has been explained. Another beautiful shloka describing the condition or the situation of Bharata Desham and the avatara of Shankaracharya is Ajnanantar Gahanapatitan Atma Vidyopadeshaihi Tratum Lokan Bhavadava Shikha Tapa Papachamanan Muktva Maunam Batavitapino Mulato Nishpapanti Shambhor Murtis Charati Bhuvane Shankaracharya Rupa. Beautiful shloka. It says Ajnanantar Gahana Patitan. At the time when Shankaracharya's avatara had to take place, how were the people? Ajnanantar Gahana Patitan. The people were deep in ignorance, in darkness of ignorance, not just submerged, like not just in ignorance, they were submerged in ignorance, and they did not know anything about the facts about the Vedas and the Atma Jnana. At this point of time, Dakshinamurti himself emerged and took the avatara as Lord Shankara. The contrast being, the observation here is, when you see Dakshinamurti, Vriksham Vatatarormole Vrdha Shishyaha Guru Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chitta Samshayaha. A shloka in Dakshinamurti Stotram which says, Dakshinamurti is a very young teacher. And how are his students? Vrdha Shishyaha. All the students are very old students. In spite of that, the age is never a bar, is what it indicates. Further, what is the mode of instruction of Dakshinamurti? Gurustu maunam vyakhyanam. Dakshinamurti's mode of instruction was silence, but that silence itself was enough to clear all the doubts of his shishyas. So this is how Dakshinamurti is described. In this shloka, it is told that Dakshinamurti took the avatara of Adi Shankaracharya and he kept aside his silence and came to this world to preach and give us beautiful work like Saundarya Lahari, Shivananda Lahari, Viveka Chudamani, and having let go of that silence, he became that avatara of Dakshinamurti with all the qualities of Dakshinamurti plus the added advantage that he can now preach with words rather than silence, because we mere mortals would probably not have understood anything if Shankaracharya had resorted to silence. So with this, we have discussed the first important incident in the life of Adi Shankaracharya, which is Shankara Jananam. In the upcoming videos, we'll look at more of these incidents. Ram Ram Ram.